Hello, beautiful people. I'm DJ, and welcome back to my channel, DJ Cooks and Books. And I have cooked tteokbokki today. Yay! Let's start with just a bite of tteokbokki. I will show you how to make it little later. Mmm, so chewy. Mmm, so good. I've also made bibimbap, and this is my vegan fried egg. Can you see? Isn't it kind of adorable? It's weird. So bibimbap means to mix, I think. So I have a lot of veggies and sprouts and everything, and gochujang sauce. I'm going to mix it with my rice, like so. It looks like this after mixing everything. I'm going to taste it now. Let me get a bite with everything. And the vegan egg. Mm, so good. So tomorrow is my birthday, and the day that I'm uploading this is going to be my birthday. Yay! So this is my celebratory meal. Hmm, so good. Little tteokbokki. Yeah. Before I devour my rest of the Korean feast, I am going to tell you a little bit about the book that I have started reading last night. So last night I started reading I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki, and that's why I made tteokbokki today. But this book by Baek Sehee, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, is her notes with her sessions as therapy sessions with psychiatrist, and she's struggling through a lot of anxiety and low level depression called dysthymia. And I could connect to her story. She's ashamed of herself when she's doing some things, like she's not able to point out other people's mistake even if it makes her irritated, and then because she can't say those things, that is again irritating her, that she's unable to express herself. Plus she's very codependent, attached to her partners, and the more she gets attached and dependent on her partners, she gets angry and she gets irritated with her partners and herself, and then lashes out, and then they break up. So far she's going through a lot of things, and her psychiatrist is slowly helping her, and I really am enjoying the book so far. I am only 20% in, but it's a short book, like I can finish it in like 3 hours or something. So I'm going to, after I finish my feast here, Korean feast, I'm going to go and read the rest of the book, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit more about how I like the book or my thoughts on the book. So see you in a bit. So good. Let's start with akamiso, this dark miso paste, 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of chili powder. It's a hot one. If you don't like hot chili powder, you can skip the hot one and maybe get a mild one. I like the hot chili powder, so I have kept 3 of those teaspoons here. Then I'm going to add 2 to 3 teaspoons of maple syrup. Alternatively, you can add maybe jaggery or sugar, couple of teaspoons of it, and some other sweetener if you want to, and mix it all up. Then that's our gochujang. I'm cutting up some mushrooms and green peppers and carrots, and I will also have some fresh spinach for bibimbap. But before that, I need to make rice paper tteokbokki. I have taken 3 sheets of tteokbokki. I have put them together and soaked them in water on both sides for a couple of times so that they will get nice and soft. It gets really sticky, like nobody warned me. I saw this recipe online, but nobody warned me. So I cut it in a kind of a rectangular shape and made rolls and then cut them. Now I'm going to make the broth with nutritional yeast flakes in water. Couple of teaspoons in maybe half a liter water, maybe 400 ml water. I haven't measured it that well. Then add our tteokbokkis to it and let it simmer, let it cook. It's going to be tasty. Add the veggies, peppers, and mushrooms. And I'm also sauteing or pan frying some tofu. And I think traditionally in tteokbokki, they add fish cakes and they are kind of triangular and it kind of looks like tofu. Before I add those tofu cubes, I'm going to add some gochujang, and that's going to give it the cake and the patented red color. I don't know why I said patented. The typical red color of the tteokbokki, and it's simmering and it's looking really really tasty. I'm like, my mouth is watering just by looking at it in editing while editing. And I also added a little bit of cornstarch slurry, like to thicken it up, maybe 1 teaspoon of cornstarch with 2 3 teaspoons of water. Now the tofu and our vegan tteokbokki is ready, and so is our bibimbap. Bibimbap has rice and then mushrooms, sauteed spinach, carrots, sprouts, and now I'm making vegan egg, fried egg. Just cutting like a thin slice of tofu in circular shape and going to pan fry it. And again, little bit of cornstarch, some turmeric, and some water mixed in to make a little yolk. Look at that, so adorable. I like the small cute vegan eggs. And that, put that on top of the rice. I've also added the gochujang, and look at that beauty. It looks so good. I think I have to go with tteokbokki. That is my favorite. I have finished the book, and I also made some chocolate cake, and it's really decadent. It might have been the best chocolate cake I have ever made. I don't know. I'm going to eat it another time. I have already had a couple of pieces, but cheers. So good. Yum. I finished I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki, and it was really good. I will tell you, one recurring thought that I had in my mind was how raw and how like everything was very honest, and all the things that might not have made the author look really good, they were really really honest about them. I was really impressed. I was in awe of how raw and how true to what they were thinking the words were on the paper. Even the most frivolous thoughts that we all do have them in our brains, but we will never admit them to people. And this person is just like putting her heart on her sleeve. Like, I'll bet it is in front of the psychiatrist, who is a professional, mental health professional, and I still like appreciate it so much that they have shared it with everybody. I still wonder, how was the psychiatrist ready to let them make it into a book? The session recordings, I have no idea. It's so raw, and it's so like very very strange feeling when you are listening to the things that they are saying. They get repetitive, sometimes you get frustrated with them. And then I remembered, I was getting frustrated, but I was remembering that they had told that they are sharing the most vulnerable things about themselves, and I had no right to judge anybody. I have been there, I have had those kind of thoughts. The biggest worry of the protagonist is their low self-esteem, and that manifests in their romantic relationships, their relationship at work, in their friendships. They are always push and pull. People liking them is also a problem for them because they don't like themselves, and they kind of think that liking someone else is becoming weak. And I've been there. We all have had those insecurities, and I really really appreciate them sharing about those things. This person is always like struggling with low self-esteem, and I really really admire how they try to like tackle the thing head on, like try to improve the self-esteem head on. And I'm like in awe of how cool this was. I really really like when they were talking about thinking in extremes, either this or that. Either I'm ugly or I am beautiful, either people like me or people hate me. There is no in between. But it's not like that. There is nothing is like that black and white. there is always a gray area, and they talk about how life is an imperfect thing, and it has to be accepted like that, and we have to accept ourselves as unique individuals with unique good points and bad points. And I really agree with the message of the book, and I think you should definitely read it. It's a very good book about mental health. And while we are on this topic, please also read, maybe you should talk to somebody by Laurie Gottlieb. Like, that's my all-time favorite therapist book. This is my number 2 therapy book, I think. Now I'm just happy that I could read it, but also I would recommend that you read it maybe slowly, or I will also probably periodically go back to it and read like a chapter at a time. Reading it at the same time can be a little bit overwhelming. I experienced that, but you do you. If you want to read it like me in a go, it's just like a very short book, but you can also revisit it later, like maybe a chapter at a time or a little bit. I'm just going to enjoy my cake now. And speaking of trying hard, like, this author is really trying hard to reconcile her problems and like facing life head on. I'm also really trying hard to make videos and talk about my thoughts and gather my thoughts and film, and I'm really not the best at it when it comes to filming, cooking and food and everything. I'm just trying. So if you like my efforts, please like share this video or any of my videos with somebody whom you think might enjoy my videos, and that would give me such a big encouragement. I would appreciate it a lot. So on that note, I'll take your leave and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. I'm just going to eat it.